Sometimes destiny does not arrive with thunder. Sometimes it begins with a meeting. Two professionals, two brilliant minds, two widowed hearts that have known both love and loss. In a city filled with movement and ambition, a government task force is about to begin work on a project that could reshape industries across Canada. But beyond the steel, policy, and negotiations, God is quietly writing another story. A story of healing, a story of faith, a story of two lives that were never meant to meet by accident. What happens when purpose introduces two people whose hearts still carry the memory of yesterday, but whose future is quietly being rewritten? Welcome to episode 11 of The Story Behind the Glory, A Bridge of Grace. Before we begin, take a moment to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share this story with someone who believes that God still writes beautiful chapters after life's hardest moments. Now, let the story unfold. The morning after that Sunday service, the city hummed with motion, meetings, deadlines, briefings. Yet beneath that rhythm, something divine was quietly unfolding. The newly appointed Ottawa, BC Steel and Lumber Taskforce was about to begin its first phase, bringing together brilliant minds, dedicated hearts, and two lives destined to build more than policy. The boardroom on the 15th floor of the Provincial Administrative Tower buzzed with quiet tension. Engineers, economists, and legal representatives filled the long glass table. At the head sat Dr. Alex Thompson, reviewing blueprints and documents. Calm, professional, exact. A door opened gently. Gloria Matthews entered, organized folders in hand, her presence polished yet humble. Their eyes met. Professional recognition, nothing more, but something quiet beneath it. "Good morning, everyone," she greeted softly. Alex nodded, returning her smile. "Good morning, Mrs. Matthews. Glad to finally work with you officially." She smiled back. "Likewise, Dr. Thompson. Let's build something that lasts." And so, they began building. Not yet bridges of steel, but bridges of grace. Gloria stood before the screen, explaining the legal framework of the new interprovincial agreement. "This document," she said, "isn't just an economic exchange. It's a statement of unity. If we do this right, it becomes a model for national cooperation." Alex listened intently, occasionally adding technical insight, their rhythm effortless, his logic, her language, his structure, her spirit. The team members glanced between them, sensing the ease of their collaboration. Two minds, one rhythm, as if they'd been solving puzzles together for years. After the meeting, they walked side by side toward the elevator. "Your presentation was excellent," Alex said. "Thank you," she replied. "And yours made mine make sense." He smiled. "That's partnership." There was a quiet pause, the kind that speaks volumes. Gloria broke the silence. "You seem like a man of principle. Not many still tie their work to their faith." Alex nodded. "Faith is my compass, Mrs. Matthews. Without it, even success can lose direction." She smiled gently. "Then perhaps we navigate by the same North Star." Faith, the language both of them spoke fluently, long before words were exchanged. 2 weeks later, after a long day of policy reviews, Alex suggested they grab coffee before heading home. The cafe was quiet, soft jazz in the background, the city lights stretching across the glass windows. Gloria stirred her tea thoughtfully. "I'm curious," she said softly. "What made you choose engineering and not ministry? You speak like a preacher sometimes." Alex smiled faintly. "I actually was a Bible study teacher for years. Ministry is in me, just not always on a pulpit." Gloria nodded, smiling knowingly. "Then maybe you haven't left ministry, you just changed platforms." He chuckled. "Maybe that's true for both of us." For a moment, they sat in comfortable silence. Two professionals, two believers, connected by purpose, not pretense. Alex glanced at his watch and smiled. My daughter Clara called earlier. She's back at the University of Toronto for her medical program. She'd love Vancouver, but she says the snow belongs to Ontario. Gloria laughed lightly. University of Toronto? That's interesting. My son Daniel is applying there next fall. He wants to study biomedical sciences. Alex raised his brows slightly surprised. Really? Well, if he makes it there, he'll be in good company. Unbeknownst to them, Destiny was already writing a parallel chapter, one for the parents and one for the children. Later that night, Gloria returned home to find Daniel at the dining table, papers spread out. "Still awake?" she asked warmly. "Yes, Mummy," he said smiling, "just finalizing my University of Toronto application." She walked over, kissed his head gently. "You'll do well, my love. You always do." Elise peeked from the hallway, sleepy-eyed. "Mummy, you're late again." Gloria smiled, picking her up. "Just work, sweetheart, but I'm home now." Her home was her peace, her children, her joy, yet tonight her spirit whispered of something new on the horizon. In the weeks that followed, their teamwork deepened. They coordinated meetings, reviewed drafts, and attended late evening sessions together. At one such session, Gloria looked up from her document and said quietly, "It's rare to find someone who listens more than he speaks." Alex smiled. "It's rarer still to find someone worth listening to." Their eyes met briefly, professional, yet profound. Sometimes destiny doesn't rush. It walks, slowly, steadily, so the soul can keep up. One late evening, as the office emptied, Gloria lingered by the window, overlooking the city lights. Alex approached quietly. "You okay?" She nodded, smiling faintly. "Just thinking about how far God has brought me. Sometimes I forget to breathe in gratitude." He looked at her for a long moment, then said gently, "Maybe it's not forgetting. Maybe it's realizing you've survived enough to finally exhale." Gloria turned toward him, eyes shimmering. "That's beautifully said." He smiled softly. "Pain teaches poetry, doesn't it?" And for the first time in years, she wasn't speaking with a colleague. She was speaking with someone who understood her silence. That night, as she drove home, the rain tapped gently against her windshield. She found herself smiling, not because of romance, but because she felt seen. "Lord," she whispered, "if this is you, teach me to walk slowly." Raindrops glowing like jewels under streetlight. Love, when heaven authors it, is never rushed. It's revealed. Meanwhile, Alex sat at his desk, reviewing blueprints, but his focus drifted. He leaned back, gazing out the window at the same rain. "Lord," he said softly, "thank you for peace, for friendship without pressure, and for reminders that life can begin again." He smiled faintly, remembering her laughter at the cafe. Two widowed hearts, no longer broken, just waiting, had begun to beat again in quiet synchrony, not in romance yet, but in resurrection. And so, what began as a professional partnership quietly became something deeper. Two souls, shaped by loss, strengthened by faith, were beginning to rediscover something they thought life had taken away forever. Not rushed, not forced, but revealed, step by step. Because when God writes a story, every meeting carries purpose, and every chapter moves closer to destiny. But this is only the beginning. In the next episode, new responsibilities, family expectations, and hidden emotions begin to shape the path ahead. Will duty strengthen their bond, or will destiny ask them to take a step neither expected? If this story touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to this channel to follow every chapter of the story behind the glory. Like this video to support the message of faith, healing, and purpose. Share it with your friends and family because someone out there may need this reminder that God is still writing their story too. And tell us in the comments, do you believe destiny can begin with something as simple as a meeting? Until the next episode, remember this: Behind every glory, there is always a story.